miss you in the day. I miss you in the night.
Hey y'all, what's good? Happy New Year. Is it too late to say Happy New Year? It's still January. So it's been a while. And I didn't voluntarily take this long of a break. I've been going through a lot personally, mentally, emotionally. So if you guys are on my Patreon, you already know why I want to keep that more personal. That's why it's only on my Patreon. I'll just say, please keep me and my family in your prayers. Also, thank you guys so much for the birthday wishes. My birthday was on January 5th. Shout outs to the Capricorns as well as the Aquariuses, okay? January gang. Thank you for all of you guys that got me something on my Amazon wish list. It's never too late to get me something on there. It will always be in my description box of all my videos on all of my channels. I know you guys have been waiting for something to drop on my Media Hustle channel, but honestly, I'm just not there yet. Again, I am going through a lot. And for those of you guys who really are into changing up your wardrobe but don't want to commit to just buying different pieces all the time, I do have a website. It is right here on the screen and always linked down below. Make sure you guys go shop some pieces for literally only $50 a month. You can have new clothes just shipped to your door. You cycle them out, you wear it. You don't like it, you send it back. They send you new pieces. If you do like it, you get to keep it for a discounted price. So make sure you guys head to that website right now. But of course, that's not why you guys are here. You guys are here for that title. It's just really insane how like I could never catch a break in life. I swear to God. We are in a brand new space. I've had a lot of different changes. But of course, during these changes, I did tell y'all in one of the 12 days of Storytime stories that Dirty Diana was going to be back. And honestly, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I thought that it was a lie. I thought it was a joke. I thought that I didn't think it was really going to be a thing. Okay. So first things first, if you guys did not watch 12 days of Storytime, go catch up on 12 days of Storytime. I really think that I did a good job with 12 days of Storytime. Like I think I did my damn fine right there. Do you feel me? But Dirty Diana, if you guys need a quick little preference, was one of my hoe ass cousins, and realize I say one because I have a lot of hoe ass cousins, but one of my hoe ass cousins from France that came out here doing all her antics and blaming all her hoe ass antics on me. Again, go watch the story time. So to be quite honest, I personally haven't seen Dirty Diana for a while. And so Dirty Diana decided to come out here again recently. Okay. So my mother called me not too long ago telling me that Dirty Diana was going to come back, and she was coming back in the beginning of January for vacation. I have no idea who in the world comes from France to New Jersey for vacation. You're coming from the cold to come back to the cold. And kid you not, France is sometimes, most of the time, colder than parts of the U.S. So I'm just like, why are you coming here for vacation? The fuck are you coming from France to cold ass New Jersey for? It just didn't make sense. And like, people don't vacation in New Jersey, and you guys are probably like, well, maybe she came to see family. The only family in New Jersey is me, my mom, and my dad. And my dad was currently in Haiti, and I don't really care for her. We don't really associate. My mom kind of has a bad taste in her mouth from her. Like, it just doesn't really make sense. And then there's Ricardo, which is just, like, it just doesn't really make sense. So I was like, okay, clearly you're here for a nigga. Like, that's the only thing that makes sense. I was like, oh, you're here for, you know, some dickscapades, all right? Like, you're here for one of your sexcapades, your dickscapades, like one of your hoes. Like, just say you're here for one of your hoes. Like, bro, like, literally, my mom told me that, like, she was coming, and I was just like, here we fucking go. Like, you're literally gonna come here and start your shit again? And I don't have time for this. Like, I genuinely don't feel like dealing with this again. Like, literally, my mom told me, and I was like, oh my God, here we go. And I was like, where the fuck she staying at? She was like, oh, I don't know. She ain't staying here. And I was like, I guarantee you, watch you let her stay in the fucking house. She's like, oh, well, there's no space for her here. I already got your aunt here. We just got rid of Ricardo. She ain't gonna stay here. So, boom. Fast forward, okay? And my mom calls me again. My mom's like, oh, well, I heard Diana's here. And I was like, oh, okay. She's like, where is she at? She's like, oh, she's at her mom's house. So her mom lives in New York. Now, that's a whole nother story. I'm not going to tell her mom business. I'm not going to do that because that's something else. I already told y'all that they be out here fighting over the same man. They be out here sharing the same man. They be out here doing a whole bunch of shit. So I was like, she's over her mother's house. Let's see how long that lasts. And, you know, my shitty ass aunt that I don't like, that I've been meaning to tell the story about, but I just have never sat down to really tell y'all the story. There's a lot that goes into that. That's why I haven't sat down to tell the story. And it's like, it's mentally exhausting and it's very triggering for me. She has came from Haiti. She was in Haiti for a long time. It took a lot for her to get here. And to be honest, I'm not even gonna lie, I probably prayed against her coming here because fuck her. She's also staying at Diana's mom's house. So I'm just like, you got all these crazy people in one house. That's not gonna last well. So I'm just sitting there like, okay, so she's in that house with all those crazy people. This is not gonna last well. I was like, well, whatever. She can stay her crazy ass over there. We don't need no motherfucking problems. That's literally what I said. I was like, she can stay her crazy ass over there. And I was like, yeah, I guess so. But I heard she's gonna come over here to visit. I said, well, let me know how that goes. Fast forward, I'm talking to my cousin Tiffany, and Tiffany is like, oh, I hear Diana's in the States. I'm like, yeah, I heard she at her mom's house. She's like, her mom's house again, because I told y'all her and her mom don't really get along like that. I was like, yeah, I heard she at her mom's house. She's like, I was like, right. She's like, yeah, like, let's see how that long that lasts. I'm like, exactly. So we just laughing about that. And I'm like, yeah, as long as she stay away from my house, my mom's house, all of that, because nobody got time for that goofy shit. No, nobody got space for her. Because, like, literally, like, even though Ricardo's room is empty, like, something was going on with the heat in my parents' building to where, like, none of the rooms had heat. Like, it was very strange. Like, only certain parts of the apartment had heat. And then, like, my aunt was sleeping on, like, a day bed. And then it was my mom in her room. So if she would have had to come, she'd have to sleep with my mom. Because Ricardo's room was, like, super duper cold. And it was, like, not a space heater in there because Ricardo had already left. So I'm like, I don't know where she gonna sleep. Like, the bathtub. Like, the bathroom had heat. But it's just, like, I didn't understand, like, how that was gonna work. So then, eventually, like, fast forward like a day or so later, I think my mom ended up calling me again, and she was like, I don't know how, to be honest, I can't remember, but something had happened, and my mom was talking to me casually, and she's like, yeah, Diana's here, and I was just like, are you not embarrassed? And she's like, yeah, you should be asking me that, c'est pas un bagay pou ta dim si m'pa want vwe. I swear to God, I'm my parents' because I'm just like, why would you let this dumbass stay in your house again? Okay, if you guys didn't watch the Dirty Diana story, like, y'all would literally understand why I'm asking my mother if she's not embarrassed. I'm like, why is she over there? She's like, well, she said that she had to be close to the Newark airport because, like, Elizabeth is right next to the Newark International Airport. And that's apparently where she's taking her flight to go back home. And apparently she's only going to be there for, like, a week, which is also strange to me because usually when she stays, she's, like, there for a month. Like, because the bitch never could keep a job. So I'm just like, she's only going to be there for a week. Okay, the whole thing don't make sense to me. And then she's staying there because that's the first time she's flies out of Newark too. Usually she flies out of JFK. But okay. So I'm like, so she can't stay at Ricardo's house. Though Ricardo got his own apartment now. She's like, I don't know where he stays, but yeah, she's gonna be staying there. I'm like, okay. Why you sound like that? Like, mind you, my mom sounds stressed, like mad stressed. She's like, well, I don't know. Like, I don't want her staying here. Like, apparently she already came here starting problems. Like, the family was calling me before she got here because they didn't know where she was. And now she's here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So apparently when she first came from wherever the fuck she came from what I understand, pulled up to her mother's house, okay? Disappeared per usual, like she always does. And she said she was going to my house, okay? Well, my parents' house. She said she was going to my parents' house. And she clearly wasn't at my parents' house. So she disappeared for like 2 days, said she was going to be at my parents' house. And they called my mom like, hey, do you know where Diana is? And my mom's like, here we go again. Of course, I don't know where Diana is. And they're sitting here pressing my mom like, what do you mean you don't know where Diana is? She said she was going to your house. My mom's like, I don't know where she is. Like, maybe you guys should keep a better or closer eye on her instead of sitting here harassing people trying to figure out where she is. Like, clearly she's a liar. So then it became this whole thing. My mom starts arguing with them, and it became and like my mom got really upset, and I was like, well, I'm not even gonna say I feel bad for you. I'm not even gonna like say anything about that, because now you see how I felt. Like, these people were doing the same thing to me when Diana came here and she was running her shit and she was running her game. Like, now you know how I felt. She's like, yeah, I understand. But like now she just came here out of nowhere and I don't really know what to do. And I'm like, the fuck you mean you don't know what to do? Tell her to get the fuck out and go back to her mother's house. She's like, no, I'm not going to do that because, you know, she has to take her flight from here. Y'all, I genuinely don't have time for this goofy shit. I'm not even about to. I was like, you don't make no sense. Like, she genuinely doesn't have to be there. She could just drive down there or get down there the day of her flight, the day before her flight, and call it a day. Like, she don't gotta be there. To be honest, as far as I'm concerned, your family's trash. Like, she don't need to be there. So basically, she lets her stay there. I mean, everything seems cool as far as I'm concerned. But then she ends up calling me a day later talking about how basically she's talking shit to the family because she's sleeping on the floor. Now, let me just explain how Haitian family dynamics and just like, how do I explain it? Chivalry and all of that goes. So when it comes to sleeping at a Haitian family member's house, right? And this may go with other cultures as well, but I'm Haitian. I can only speak on Haitians, right? Like typically, if you don't have a guest room or something like that, a Haitian person will always offer you their own bed. Or they will always like sleep on the couch and they will offer you their own room. That's always how it goes. Or worst case scenario, they'll be like, hey, sleep with me, but they will never put you on the floor. They will never put you like on the couch. They'll rather sleep on the couch and have you sleep in their own room or their own bed. Like that's always how it goes. Okay. So my mom offered for her to sleep in her bed. Cause like I just explained, the other room is cold, and my aunt is sleeping on the day bed. For whatever reason, she opted to sleep on the cold ass floor in Ricardo's old room with no heat instead of sleeping with my mom in her room. I understand not everyone wants to sleep with someone. I understand not everyone wants to sleep in other people's beds. But in terms of Haitian customs and shit like that, you don't turn down something like that. It's just like when you go to a Haitian person's house, you don't not say hi, you don't not take the food that's being offered. It's just something you don't do. So she goes, she sleeps on the floor, and basically she starts talking shit about how she was put on the floor and there was nowhere for her to sleep. Bitch, you weren't invited. You weren't invited. You were not invited here. You child. So my mom is upset. She's calling me. She's complaining about this. And I'm like, well, you should be embarrassed for even having her there. Like, I don't understand. She's like, oh, she's here to ruin me, her and Ricardo and all the rest of these people in this family. She came here specifically to cause problems. No, you just like the drama. You like the problems because you specifically let this girl come back to the house knowing damn well she's problems. Like, she is an issue. Every single time she comes there, she's causing a problem. Like, this is your fault. Okay, this has nothing to do with her. This has nothing to do with anything else but the fact that you clearly couldn't say no to her. Now these niggas out here talking shit, but at the same time, like, they're in Haiti trying to come here on the Biden migration program. To be quite honest with you, they should have absolutely nothing to fucking say. Okay, they trying to come here themselves. They about to be living in the same misery, if not worse. So they should have absolutely nothing to say about nothing. Like, that shit low-key, high-key pissed me the fuck off. Like, because I'm just like, why are they even talking any shit? Like, they shouldn't be saying anything. So my mom's upset about that. Meanwhile, like, I basically was just kind of ignoring it because I'm like, I have better things to worry about. It's almost my birthday. Like, so after that, I just kind of ignored her. I was like, honestly, that's your business. I'm not about to deal with that. Like, you're the one that's putting yourself in those issues. So then apparently, from what I understand, she went back to go get her luggage from New York, right? So I don't understand why she had came over, but she didn't get all her luggage. Like, she left her luggage at her mom's house, and Ricardo had came to like basically drive her back to New York. So make it make sense. So she came from New York to New Jersey to go back to New York to come back to New Jersey for her luggage. So that day, my mom is calling me and she's upset. And she's like, oh, they're going to go back to New York and they're going to go get her luggage to come back. I said, okay. And she said, oh, they're going to come back with some family members. Make sure that they don't bring my sister back over here, which is my aunt that I be talking about that I don't fuck with, that I have yet to make a story time about eventually. This year, definitely, I'll make the story. And I'm just like, oh, nah. Like, listen, I don't fuck with this aunt. My mom don't fuck with this lady, even though that's her sister. But to be honest, my mom, like, how do I explain it? My mom would love to talk to her again, but the lady is very problematic and she's very toxic, and she'd be on the whole drama route, and she's on this whole, if I see her again, I'm gonna hit her. Like, that's literally how my aunt is on. Like, my mom is on this whole, oh, you know, that's my sister, I'll always love her. Meanwhile, my aunt is on this whole, oh, I'll hit her, I'll slap her, that's my sister, I'll do what I want. Like, it's very weird. Like, it's very, very weird. Like, my mom has no problem with her, really, but my mom kind of doesn't want her anywhere near her because she knows that she's going to start some mess. So my mom was like, oh, make sure that when they come back, they don't bring that lady near my house because I'm not trying to have any drama. So I'm like, nah, that's kind of crazy. So they basically were going back over to that house to bring Diana's luggage, but I'm just like, but what else are y'all about to do? Because they were talking about bringing other family. Like, they're talking about bringing, like, basically the whole family back. But, again, my aunt's over there. So, y'all about to bring everybody in her luggage but leave my aunt? I don't believe that shit. So, I'm like, So, I call Ricardo because Ricardo's the one that's driving. I'm like, Ricardo, I know y'all about to go back over there to come bring Diana's luggage and whoever else. Make sure y'all don't bring my aunt. My cousin, of course, you know, Ricardo's sitting there like, what do you mean? I'm like, you know exactly what I mean. Whatever you do, don't bring my aunt over there. Because, like, nah. Like, she about to come over there and start no message. She's about to come over there and start some mess. She's like, oh, well, that's your aunt. What if I did want to bring her over there? Like I fucking said, don't bring her over there, and I'm dead serious. Oh, well, you guys need to stop that shit. You know, you guys are a family at the end of the day. I don't give a fuck about what the fuck you're talking about right now. I said don't fucking bring her over there. Like, I don't understand why people don't understand that some people just shouldn't be around each other, and when some people have wishes to not be near others, that should just be granted. Don't bring her over my fucking parents' house, point blank, period. My mother said she doesn't want her there. I don't want her there. Niggas don't want her there. The bitch is a troublemaker. Okay, point blank, period. So he's like, okay, whatever. Then I hear Diana in the background like, hi, Yvana, how are you? I didn't forget what you did last summer. But yeah, I didn't forget what you did 10 years ago, bitch. I do remember it. I don't care if it was 10 years ago. I'm not beefing with her. I don't hate her. You know, everything's cool. Like, I don't like, you know, I love my cousin. She's just, yeah, you know, so whatever. I'm like, hey, yeah, how are you? She's like, oh, yeah, whatever. So she's like, oh, you don't talk to her? You don't talk to your aunt? Bitch, y'all know damn well I don't talk to that lady. Like, stop fucking playing with me. She's like, oh, well, you guys need to get along. Click. I didn't hang up on her, but in my mind, I hung up. I stopped listening. I was like, okay, anyways, like I said, don't bring her over there. I don't have time for that. Like, she don't need to be over there. We don't need this to, no. So whatever. That ends up happening. I'm sitting there like, just like, this is so fucking ridiculous. Like, it's not that hard. Like, don't bring her over there. It's like, whatever is the issue with us having an issue with her is none of y'all business. Like, just don't bring the lady over there. So fast forward, family's over there. My birthday passes. I kind of wanted to be at my parents' house for my birthday, but I couldn't because it was mad family over the fucking house, which is whatever. That's fine. I ended up being in a hotel for my birthday, which, I mean, that's fine. I just needed peace and quiet and tranquility. Whatever. It was fine. There was a freaking snowstorm for my birthday anyway. But an impending snowstorm. It never snowed. But long story short, everything ended up being cool until I ended up going over there for like maybe 2 days before my birthday, right? I ended up going over there and basically they're like, oh, they ambushed me with this aunt shit. And basically fucking Diana's like, oh yeah, if you're not aware, basically your aunt said that she really wants to see you and she misses you. Y'all would hear the story. Like, I really have to sit down and tell y'all the story about my aunt. Then y'all understand why, like, this shit bothers me so much. She misses me. She could suck my ass, bro. There's nothing for her to miss. Like, if I'm not mistaken, that lady literally said next time she see me, she gonna beat my ass. There's nothing for her to miss. She could miss these nuts, bitch. Like, what are you talking about? Like, no. Like, talk about some she misses me. Meanwhile, she was talking shit to them, talk about somehow my parents owe her money. What are you talking about? My mom doesn't even talk to you. My dad my dad actually don't hate her. But literally, she was telling my cousin and both my cousins, she was telling Ricardo and Diana that my mom specifically owes her thousands of dollars for clothes that she gave her. Now, one thing about my aunt does this thing where like she shops a lot. Like she thrifts and then like she gives them to people she sells, but a lot of times she gives them away. Like, one thing I will say I miss her because like only that. Like, she used to give like the best stuff. And she claims that one time she gave my mom so much clothes that she was supposed to pay her for it, and my mom never gave her the money. Funny thing about that is, not only did DMX pay her for it, my father paid her for it, and DMX's brother. I never gave him a name, but DMX's brother paid her for it. So she got paid 3 separate times on 3 separate occasions for this money. And on top of that, one of my father's friends came across my aunt and paid her for it as well. So technically 4 different occasions. So you racked up at least $2,000 for these said clothes. And you're still going around saying my mother owes you money. My mother don't owe you shit. So my mom is going the fuck off. Meanwhile, you got fucking Diana and Ricardo like, oh, well, you know, if you owe her money, it's okay that you owe her money. One thing about my mom, if she owe you money, she gonna give you that money back. My mother's not one to borrow. My mother's not one to like owing people. My mother's just not like that. That's one thing that's completely different from my mom and my dad. My mom not about to sit there and owe somebody and like not give it back or like lie about it. So I'm just like, nigga, what the fuck is she talking about? Like, and then they're like, well, you know, regardless, you know, you need to go make amends. So she could tell me that my mother owe her money and I could slap the shit out of her. Like literally I'll dog shit her. I'll dog walk her. Like, what the fuck is she talking about? Like that shit blew my shit. They sat there and gave me a whole fucking speech of why I need to talk to my aunt. And that's my aunt at the end of the day. And I'm like, oh, she raised you? I stayed in her house for a year and I barely remember it. I can't stand it when adults try to make it seem like, oh, well, she changed your diapers. Oh, he was there for you when you were a baby. And I don't remember any bit of it. Don't guilt trip me for something that I have absolutely no cognizance of. I don't remember any of it. And I don't want to remember any of it. That has absolutely nothing to do with me. That has a lot to do with my parents. I was a child. I did not grow up there. Literally, I grew up in fucking Jersey, okay? I was in Westbury, Long Island for what? A year, max 2 years. After that, I moved to Jersey, bitch. I'm a Jersey bitch. Okay? She did not raise a damn thing. Like, she did not do anything. If anything, she caused problems. Because after that, when I went to her house when I was like 9 years old, her husband was a dick to me and she did absolutely nothing. And then when I turned 15, she was a dick to me. Again, that's going to be a whole nother video for another time. Like, it's just like, I don't understand. Like, how y'all going to guilt trip me for somebody that treated me like shit, bro? Like, don't, you know what? It's just, it's crazy, bro. It really is fucking crazy. Like, so all this to say, Diana came doing the same shit. She came doing the same exact shit. Came there trying to guilt trip me with Ricardo. Talk about, so, oh, she says she misses you and that's your aunt. You gotta do this. You gotta do that, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, respectfully, I don't have to do anything. You need to get the fuck off my face and hop the fuck off these nuts. Okay, like, oh my God. So, yeah. Now, you guys are probably wondering, like, what did Diana even come there for? Did you ever figure out why she came in the dead of winter for vacation? Of course, she came for niggas. I don't care. Nobody says she came for niggas. Okay, that was my synopsis, but she came for something else. So the reason I think she came for niggas is because she always comes for niggas. She never comes for anything else. First of all, she told me she was leaving on January 6th. Then she tripped up when I asked her again, and she said she was leaving January 8th. Well, actually, she told my mom she was leaving January 6th. And then when I asked her, she said she was leaving January 8th. Which one is it? Did you get the 6th mixed up with the 8th? And when she left, she didn't necessarily leave because when you go on her Facebook, she was still in the States. And then on top of that, when I asked my mom, I was like, okay, did you actually ask her exactly why she's here? And apparently my mom told me, y'all get this. This shit's crazy as hell. Apparently her father passed away about a year or so ago. And she has a brother that she lives in France with, but not like lives with, but they both live in France. And when the funeral was happening, he picked up all of the expenses for her father. And Diana did absolutely nothing. Didn't pick up a tab for anything for her father's funeral. Her brother did absolutely everything. And a year later, he is still asking for her cut of it. She said that she was going to pay for it. You know, like put in something, and it's been over a year and she has not done so. She said, you know, just give me some time, you know, give me at least a year. The year is up. It's been a year since he has passed, and time is up. There has been absolutely nothing given. So essentially that's what's been going on. She's been running from having to pay her brother back for her father's funeral. Ain't that some shit? Have some interesting family. So yeah. There's that. So I don't even know if she back home or not. I really don't even care. I stopped checking because I have bigger fucking issues. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. And thank you guys so much for joining the Patreon. If you haven't joined the Patreon, please do so for exclusive uploads. and a bunch of other shit. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, do all that. And I'm going to see y'all next time. Bye.